Hello, Dr. Joe here. Now, in front of me here, I've got 5 teas, okay? And, because some of you have always wanted to find out teas that will help with blood sugar management. So I felt I should deal with that very topic today. So right here now, I've got 5 teas that I'm going to be talking about in this very video, as well as the science behind each of these teas as they relate to the management of diabetes, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Some of them, I'll be talking about the extracts, by the way. So how about we dive straight in? So we're going to be looking at teas or extracts that help diabetes, okay? Usually it's the teas, but where extract was used in the research, I'm going to be talking about the extract in that very instance. So let's move on to tea number 1. And tea number 1 is black tea. Okay, black tea. And the study we're going to look at for black tea for diabetes is a randomized control trial that was published in Asia Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition with the title Black Tea Consumption Improves Postprandial Glycemic Control in Normal and Pre-Diabetic Subjects, a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover study. I like this kind of study because it really does delve and prove the point. So what we're going to be doing is just look at the study findings. Okay, we're not going to go into details of the study to save time. So what were the findings of this very study? Well, they found that there was a reduction in blood glucose excursion after consuming sucrose drink along with black tea compared to when the participants used a placebo drink instead of the black tea. So essentially, sucrose drink refers to, table sugar drink. That's essentially what it is. And if you consume a sugar drink along with the black tea in combination, then of course you're going to reduce your blood glucose excursion. So what is responsible for this magic? Well, it is what we call black tea polymerized polyphenols, abbreviated as BTPP. So this black tea polymerized polyphenols is what is doing the magic as far as blood sugar control is concerned. So as you heard there, tea number 1 is black tea. Now, I've got a brand here that is the English breakfast brand. It says English breakfast fine tea. Rich and smooth, it says, and it's a classic blend of teas with full-bodied flavor. That's what it tells me here. But more importantly though, when you look at the list of ingredients, I'll flip to the back here now. Look at the list of ingredients. What do we have here? Well, all it says is black tea. That's it, okay? Black tea, nothing else added. And that is what you should be going for. So that is tea number 1. Let's move on to tea number 2 that will help you manage your diabetes, your blood sugar. And that's this one here. What is it? And tea number 2 is hibiscus tea. Or extract, and I talk about extract here because that was what was used in this very study here that was published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry with the title Hibiscus Sabdarifer Polyphenols Alleviate Insulin Resistance and Renal Epithelial to Mesenchymal Transition, a Novel Action Mechanism Mediated by Type 4 dipeptidyl peptidase. This is an enzyme. This type 4 dipeptidyl peptidase is an enzyme, and it's an enzyme that breaks down the hormone we call GLP-1 and also GIP. Name GLP-1 should ring a bell for you. If you remember Ozempic, which is making waves at the moment. Anyway, the point is that if you inhibit this very enzyme that breaks down GLP-1 and GIP hormone, then you keep the GLP hormone and the GIP hormone alive for much longer. And one of the functions of GLP-1 hormone is to encourage the secretion of insulin from the pancreas. Okay, so there you go. There's a method to the madness there. Anyway, what were the study findings of this very study? And it was that the extracts of hibiscus improved diabetic nephropathy. Now, diabetic nephropathy is a complication of diabetes, is a kidney complication of diabetes, and is a terrible complication of diabetes. If it is left unchecked, it will lead to kidney failure. Now, what is happening here is that the extracts of hibiscus in this very study did prove that you can improve this very diabetic complication, the diabetic kidney complication. That is fantastic because here we are comparing the effect of hibiscus with linagliptin, which is Trajenta. Linagliptin is a diabetic medication. It goes by the brand name Trajenta. And so here we are, little humble hibiscus is doing the same job as linagliptin. What is not to like? So as you heard there, the tea number 2 is hibiscus tea. And this is what I've got here, okay? A lovely tea, also full-bodied. I love it a lot. It's one of my best herbal teas, I have to say. And this one here, I've got this Hambledon brand here. So a hibiscus tea is tea number 2. What is tea number 3? And I've got it here. What is it? Let's go have a look, shall we? And tea number 3 is lemon balm tea, or extract, as in this case, because in this very study we're going to look at now, which was a randomized control trial published in Phytotherapy Research Journal, they used a lemon balm extract. And the title of that very study was Efficacy of Melissa Officinalis, which is lemon balm, the extract on glycemic control and cardiovascular risk factors in individuals with type 2 diabetes, a randomized, double-blind clinical trial. So we're just going to skip to the findings of this lemon balm study regarding diabetes. Well, when they gave the individuals 700 milligrams of extract, okay, of the lemon balm extract, that resulted in a reduction in fasting blood glucose, as well as a reduction in hemoglobin A1C. So hemoglobin A1C is your average blood sugar over the last 90 days. And obviously, lemon balm extract had an influence on that, a positive impact on the average blood sugar over the last 90 days, as well as fasting blood glucose. Okay, so as you heard there, lemon balm is tea number 3, and that is what I've got right here. This one is organic lemon balm infusion tea. Lovely tea, I also like it. This one was made by Herbal Kingdom brand. It's a very nice tea that I like to consume often as well. So this is tea number 3. What is tea number 4? Well, tea number 4 is here. What is it? And tea number 4 is cinnamon tea. And we are also going to look at a study here that was randomized control trial as well, published in the Journal of Diabetes Research Journal, with the title Effect of Cinnamon Tea on Postprandial Glucose Concentration. By the way, the term postprandial simply means after a meal or after a drink. Preprandial is before a meal or before a drink. Okay, so that's what that very term means. Postprandial, after a meal. So what was the effect of cinnamon tea on the after meal blood glucose concentration in this very study? We're going to look at a graph, and here is the graph. Very nice graph. On this axis here, you have got blood glucose levels in millimole per liter, and on this axis, you have the time. So it's very clear here. This line here is the control, okay? This was the blood sugar of the study participants, the control. And then this other line here is the graph for those who had cinnamon tea. Look at it. So you can clearly see that the blood glucose excursion for cinnamon tea users was less than the blood glucose excursion for the control individuals who did not receive
the cinnamon tea. Okay, they had dummy. So it's very clear here. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to work this out. Very, very clear. And here's something you'll find as well. When you give a drink to individuals, this is just plain sugar drink, your blood sugar tends to peak in 30 minutes. But the peak is usually at 1 hour when it is a meal. So when I do my N of 1 experiments and I do the blood sugar test at 30 minutes, when it's just a drink, like when I did the experiment on honey and I checked at 30 minutes, people were like, oh, well, you should have checked at 1 hour or 2 hours. I'm like, no, because if you do that, then you have missed the peak time. So when it's a drink, usually drink without any other food to go with it, pure drink, it usually peaks at 30 minutes. I just want to point that out in this very study. And that's what you see here, okay? But the point here is that cinnamon drink, or using the tea as it were, does reduce the blood glucose excursion compared to when you don't use any cinnamon at all.
Okay, so tea number 4 is cinnamon, okay? Cinnamon, and that's what I've got here. This is Ceylon cinnamon. Now, in this very packet here, I haven't got the cinnamon tea bags. So what I have here is Ceylon cinnamon powder. That's what I've got. And you can make tea off it. So it doesn't have to come in a tea bag. You can still make a tea out of the powder. And that's what I've got right here. So that is tea number 4. What is tea number 5? Well, is this one here. You can see the clue there. What is it?
And that is green tea, okay? The king of them. And the study we're going to look at here was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition with the title, The Effect of Green Tea on Glucose Control and Insulin Sensitivity, a meta-analysis of 17 randomized control trials. I love this. This is a meta-analysis. So a meta-analysis is basically a study of studies. So in this instance, they pooled 17 studies together, all randomized, and analyzed them. And what did they find as far as blood sugar control is concerned? Well, they found that in these 17 studies, green tea did lead to a reduction in fasting blood sugar, as well as a reduction in hemoglobin A1C. There we go again, the same hemoglobin A1C, which is the average of your blood sugar readings over the last 90 days. So consumption of green tea does have a positive influence on your fasting blood sugar as well as your hemoglobin A1C. The main findings from this very meta-analysis, which is not to be sniffed at all.
And of course, tea number 5 is green tea. You've heard it all. This one here, this is the Tetley brand of green tea. I tend to go for the decaf one. So lovely, lovely tea, you know, nice, good taste. You can add a sweetener if you want to, but one of the things I tend to do, because you know, sometimes you just want to change the flavor of the green tea. So sometimes what I do, I just add peppermint tea along with it, and it's a very nice combination. Okay, very nice combination. So Tetley green tea is what I've got here. By the way, just before we go, a quick plug. This is my book on managing high blood pressure with lifestyle approach. Links to get the book right below this very video. So, which of these teas is your favorite? Which of them do you consume often? Do let me know in the comment section. I'm hoping that you got some value from this very video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please like the video, and also please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. If you've got any questions, any comments regarding the content of this video presentation, go ahead, leave your comments or questions down below. I think that's about it for this very video. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.